I was just taking care of like my groceries and not my groceries, my pre-cooked chicken, and I thought about something. So one of the more popular blog topics on my actual blog, brandyellen.com, is from years ago when I used to talk a lot about learning when to walk away and how to walk away from someone you love. This is a topic that apparently a lot of you, at least on Google search, are searching for the answer to because, well, we're all human and, excuse me, relationships are hard. Business relationships, friendships, romantic relationships, you know, marriages, they're all hard because not a one of us is easy to get along with. So anyway, my point being today is I wanted to talk a little bit about learning to walk away from something and kind of where I'm coming from in today's 40 plus mindset instead of back in my 30s when I was writing about it more often. So one of the biggest things I try to tell people is, first off, if you love someone, but you're in an unhealthy relationship, meaning that you've gone to therapy, you've been in a therapist room, or you have some sort of specialist that can actually tell you, yes, you are being gaslit, you're being manipulated, all those things, because sometimes we just get a little upset. We're a little big in our emotions in relationships. We're all guilty of it. And we think that we're in an unhealthy relationship because someone upset us. Now, people are gonna upset us, even people we love dearly and people who love us dearly, because if they're living in their authentic, true self, they are, and you're living in your true, authentic self, then every once in a while, you're gonna have a little clash of opinions, values, you know, how to put the toilet paper on the toilet paper roll, for example, right? That doesn't make it unhealthy. That does not make it unhealthy. What makes it unhealthy is situations sort of like ones I've been in before, where I feel like I'm losing my freaking mind because I've clearly perceived something to happen X, Y, and Z way. And although I know my perception is still based on mine, like my experience, my biases, etc., it's not going to be that far from the truth of the matter in most times, because I'm a pretty logical, realistic person. I'm pretty, I am like head in the clouds, creative, imaginative, but I do try to bring myself back best I can to reality to evaluate a situation before I make an opinion about it. I try really hard to do that. And it's just something that kind of works for me because I know that I can be prone to emotional choices just by the way I'm wired. So forgot what I was saying. Fantastic. So when you actually, let me get back to the point. When you start learning to hone in on your true self and you have a therapist to back up and say, okay, that's what it was. You've gone crazy. You feel like you're losing your mind because you're speaking your truth. They're speaking their truth. And they're like, no, they're not even speaking their truth. They're like, no, it didn't happen that way. You're crazy. It happened this way and this way and this way, and I don't even know what you're talking about. And they literally make you feel like you're insane and your whole perception of what happened was not even like valid, not even parts of it. Now, if you're in a healthy relationship, you may have two different perspectives, but somewhere in the middle, you guys can kind of unite and make sense of the nonsense. There's not like craziness where you feel like constantly losing your freaking mind. I don't know how to explain it, but anyone who's been in a relationship with like some sort of personality disorder, maybe like a narcissistic type or a sociopath or those kind of personality disorders, sometimes that's when it happens. Actually, that's when I've seen it happen most, is they literally like, and I don't think they're doing it maliciously. I don't even think they realize they're doing it, but they're literally driving you crazy because in their mind, they're always the better person. And they don't seem like that. You have to really listen to how they say things and you'll start to recognize like, oh, they're just patting themselves on the back all the time. So this unhealthy relationship like that, and that's a small example in a big pool of examples I'm sure someone out there is going to share in the comments for me to open my mind to other examples. So that's my small example. If you're in an unhealthy relationship and you know this, a therapist has backed it up, or you're just really tuned with yourself and you're like, yeah, this isn't healthy for me, period. I don't need a therapist. I just know this isn't right for me. Then okay, get out of that relationship. No questions. But if you're in a little bit more of you've been married a long time, you're kind of in that funk, you used to have like lots of fun together and now you're just living the motions of life and you realize, I'm kind of bored and I want like more emotional support, or I want some more friendships, or I want this. Be careful. So that may not be a reason to walk away, for one. because you can actually reconnect with your spouse. Just find some like-minded things, and in the beginning, it's going to be really boring. But I want you to try this step before you decide that this is the person you need to walk away from, because it's coming from someone who's been married, divorced, back with that person, and I've been in a lot of different relationships. I try really hard not to share relationship stuff because I know that I'm still learning as I go here, but I'm going to share this from the space of where I'm at now. So if you've tried therapy and they say yay or nay, if you've now tried this option, which is finding or going back to old hobbies you used to like. Maybe you guys used to like going hiking. Schedule a hiking date every week. Maybe you just both like staying home. Schedule a home date where you just literally sit and eat a meal with no electronics on, right? And you have to be forced to talk to each other. And maybe get some this Conversations for Couples card type game. I'm going to link that in the comments. It's from Esther Perel. I can't say her name very well. Try that. Yeah, she also has like a $99 course, turning conflict into, I forget the word. So I'll link that down below as well. I'm not an affiliate. It's just, I am an affiliate for the cards. I'll share that in my Amazon link, I think, if they're there. Either way, I'm not an affiliate for Esther. I've heard some of her stuff and I think she knows what she's doing. Well, I do know she knows what she's doing more than me. Once you've tried all these different things of reconnecting and trying new dates and going through these boring, tedious tasks of, is this the right relationship for me? And you still feel like, you know what, there's still lack here and this doesn't seem right for me, then it's okay. You've got to make that choice because it's not totally being selfish, especially if there's kids involved. You've got to take the time to think. But at the end of the day, I know that if you make the choice for the right reasons and you are amicable and friendly about it, that your kids can thrive. It may not be ideal. Believe me, it's not always ideal carting kids back and forth to houses and that sort of thing. I've lived it. It's not the best, but you can make the best of it if that ends up being your scenario. Because let's face it, sometimes people like me, we marry for the wrong reasons, and years later we do some spiritual stuff, some therapy, and we realize, wow, you know what? This just isn't a good fit now, and I don't know if we just can't reconnect, and so we just gotta pause and walk away and start over. But if you're open, you're honest, you're considerate about it, and you care about the person, so therefore they also care about you, you can make it work so that it's best for everybody involved, and then that's when you know when to kind of walk away from the situation and start over. It's not as scary as it seems, believe me. I used to think it was very, very scary, but it's not. It's hard at first maybe, but you feel so good because if that was the right choice to walk away from someone you love and someone you care deeply about, you will feel this lightheartedness, and it's just a weight has been lifted off of you, and that is your inner guide, your source telling you you made the right choice. And just flow, continue to flow in the right direction for things that make sense for you. And I'm making it sound so simple, guys. It really isn't. When you're looking to leave a relationship, to me, I spend a year or 2 years before I actually decide that, okay, I can't leave someone. It could take me up to a 2 year, but usually within a year of really trying to try all the things. I will exhaust myself trying to stay in a relationship I committed to, because the commitment itself is important to me. But you can't exhaust yourself to the point of like what I did a couple times. You're completely depleted, and now you need all the therapy, all the life coaching, all the help you can get to rebuild your inner self because you feel so awful because you were abused and manipulated. I don't want you to hang on to that. That's not, believe me, that really sucks. I'm just now like, I don't even know how many years later, 5, 6, 7, I don't even know. Years later, I'm finally able to sing in the car. Do you know that it took that long for me to feel the inner joy like that? When I could have just left earlier and not had it be like all like, oh my God, in my head. But when you get in those relationships, sometimes your brain gets messed with. And I don't know if they do it maliciously. I'd like to think they don't do it maliciously. But it happens. You know, we're all wired differently. We all have different experiences. And I have learned that we've got to do what's best for us, because then we show up better for people we love in our life. So for now, I hope you enjoyed my rambles, and I really would love to hear your feedback, because I know I'm just in my 40s. I really don't know it all. I'm very, very still much on the learning phase of long-term committed relationships. and I've made a lot of mistakes. So maybe your wisdom in the comments below will help me learn kind of where you've come from in relationships and what your experiences have been on how to walk away from someone you love, and if that's like a thing. So I welcome your comments. I'd love to have dialogue in the comment section. If for those that enjoy dialogue, let's talk. If you see, I actually respect other people's views on stuff, and I love learning new things about other people. That's why we're here. So for now, I'm gonna sign off and go tend to my mama bear duties. I hope you have a beautiful day. Peace and love. Mwah. Brandy Ellen out.